If you enjoy audiobooks on self-development, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It's completely free for you, but it provides valuable encouragement and motivation for me to continue creating more helpful content.
Detailing his life from a troubled youth to his experiences in the elite SAS regiment. The narrative provides an unflinching account of McNab's military career, including covert operations across 5 continents, counter-terrorism efforts, and the rigorous training that SAS soldiers undergo. It offers readers an inside look at the psychological and physical demands placed on Special Forces operatives. Immediate action and noble understanding are 2 intertwined principles that lie at the heart of meaningful human existence. While immediate action emphasizes promptness, decisiveness, and engagement, noble understanding encapsulates wisdom, compassion, and higher moral reasoning. In a world increasingly characterized by complexity, conflict, and rapid change, the harmonious integration of these 2 qualities can serve as a powerful framework for personal development, societal progress, and global harmony. Immediate action is often associated with decisiveness, spontaneity, and courage. It involves the ability to perceive a situation, process its demands quickly, and respond effectively without unnecessary hesitation. In emergency situations, the value of immediate action becomes most evident. Whether it's a medical professional performing CPR on a patient, a firefighter rescuing someone from a burning building, or an ordinary person pulling someone out of danger, the immediacy of the action often determines the outcome. Yet, immediate action is not confined to emergencies. It is also applicable in everyday decisions, taking the initiative to apologize, helping someone in need, or standing up for justice when witnessing injustice. It is the manifestation of alertness, responsibility, and proactive engagement with the world. Noble understanding, on the other hand, is a deeper, more reflective quality. It involves empathy, awareness of the broader consequences of one's actions, and a profound respect for life and ethical values. Noble understanding arises from a cultivated mind and heart that seeks not only to act but to act rightly. It involves understanding the root causes of suffering, the complexity of human behavior, and the interdependence of all beings. A person who possesses noble understanding does not merely react but responds with thoughtfulness and care. They look beyond surface-level appearances and consider long-term effects, ethical implications, and the emotional realities of others. The synthesis of immediate action and noble understanding is what transforms mere reactions into meaningful deeds. Immediate action without noble understanding can lead to rashness, aggression, and unintended harm. Conversely, noble understanding without immediate action can result in inaction, indecisiveness, or passivity. A person might understand the suffering of others deeply, but if they do not act, their understanding remains inert and ineffective. Therefore, it is the union of both that leads to transformative outcomes. In the realm of social justice, this synthesis is especially critical. Throughout history, changemakers who have combined immediate action with noble understanding have brought about significant transformations. Mahatma Gandhi's nonviolent resistance, Martin Luther King Jr.'s civil rights leadership, and Mother Teresa's compassionate service are examples of individuals whose actions were both immediate and deeply rooted in ethical understanding. They did not wait for perfect conditions. They did not limit themselves to intellectual contemplation. Instead, they translated their insights into action, creating ripple effects that inspired millions. Their ability to see the humanity in all people and act in alignment with that vision exemplifies the power of these 2 qualities working in harmony. On a personal level, cultivating immediate action and noble understanding requires continuous self-awareness and discipline. One must learn to listen deeply, not only to others but also to one's inner voice. Self-awareness involves recognizing one's emotions, motives, and biases. When we understand ourselves, we can act more authentically and effectively. For example, in moments of anger, noble understanding helps us pause, reflect, and choose a response that does not perpetuate harm. Immediate action, in this context, does not mean reacting impulsively but rather choosing the best course of action without delay once clarity has been attained. The development of noble understanding often involves exposure to diverse perspectives, education, and life experiences. It is enriched by reading, dialogue, reflection, and meditation. Philosophical and spiritual traditions across cultures have emphasized the value of understanding, whether it's the Buddhist concept of right understanding, the Christian emphasis on love and compassion, or the Confucian ideal of empathy and virtue. Each tradition underscores that true understanding is not passive, it compels us to act in ways that honor the dignity of others. In practical life, these principles can guide behavior in family, workplace, and community settings. For instance, in a family, immediate action might involve comforting a child who is crying, while noble understanding would involve recognizing the deeper needs behind the tears. Perhaps the child feels neglected or misunderstood. In the workplace, immediate action could be solving a technical issue, while noble understanding would be ensuring that the solution is sustainable and that team dynamics are respected. In the community, immediate action might involve volunteering during a crisis, while noble understanding would be addressing systemic issues that cause repeated crises. Education plays a vital role in nurturing these qualities. An education system that emphasizes rote learning and competition may produce capable individuals, but not necessarily wise or compassionate ones. However, when students are encouraged to think critically, engage empathetically, and take initiative, they begin to develop a balance of immediate action and noble understanding. Service learning, moral education, and real-world problem-solving activities are some ways to cultivate these traits. Technology and globalization have added new dimensions to this discussion. With information at our fingertips, people can become aware of global issues in real time. This awareness creates opportunities for immediate action, whether it's donating to a disaster relief fund, signing a petition, or spreading awareness. However, the ease of action can also lead to superficial engagement, where actions are taken without a deep understanding of the context. For example, social media activism often involves quick sharing of content, but without understanding the nuances of the issue, such actions may be ineffective or even harmful. Thus, noble understanding remains essential in guiding digital age actions to be meaningful and responsible. In leadership, the combination of immediate action and noble understanding is perhaps most crucial. Leaders must make timely decisions, often under pressure. However, if those decisions are not rooted in ethical values and an understanding of people's needs, they may result in discontent or injustice. Great leaders are those who listen deeply, reflect wisely, and act decisively. They are able to motivate others not just through power, but through authenticity and vision. Such leadership inspires trust and builds resilient communities. Moreover, in moments of crisis, whether personal, national, or global, the need for both immediate action and noble understanding becomes even more pronounced. The COVID-19 pandemic, for instance, required swift public health measures, immediate action, as well as compassion for vulnerable populations and thoughtful communication, noble understanding. Leaders, healthcare workers, and citizens had to navigate uncertainty, fear, and grief with both resolve and empathy. The effectiveness of the response often depended on how well these two qualities were integrated. Spirituality and mindfulness can also play a role in cultivating this integration. Mindfulness helps individuals to pause and become aware of their thoughts and emotions without being overwhelmed by them. This pause creates space for noble understanding to arise before action is taken. It allows individuals to respond rather than react. Spiritual teachings often emphasize the interconnectedness of all life, which fosters compassion and a sense of responsibility. When one acts from this place of awareness and connection, the actions are more likely to be constructive and healing. Art and literature offer yet another avenue for exploring and expressing these themes. Great works of art often depict moments where characters must choose between impulsive reaction and thoughtful action. Through narrative, symbolism, and emotional depth, literature can cultivate noble understanding in readers and inspire them to act courageously in their own lives. Whether it's the moral dilemmas faced by Shakespearean heroes or the introspective journeys in modern novels, such stories offer mirrors through which we can better understand ourselves and the world. In interpersonal relationships, immediate action might be the gesture of kindness, the hug, the supportive word. All of which have the power to transform someone's day or even life. But noble understanding helps us avoid judgment, embrace forgiveness, and see others through the lens of shared humanity. It is the understanding that behind every behavior is a story, a struggle, a desire to be loved and accepted. When we bring this awareness into our interactions, we create deeper connections and reduce conflict. Environmentally, humanity faces a dire need for both immediate action and noble understanding. Climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution demand urgent responses. Yet, the root causes, consumerism, disconnection from nature, and inequitable systems, require a deeper shift in consciousness. Immediate action might be switching to renewable energy or reducing plastic use, but noble understanding involves recognizing our interdependence with the earth and all its inhabitants. It involves reimagining progress not as endless growth, but as balance, harmony, and sustainability. Ultimately, the path of integrating immediate action with noble understanding is not always easy. It requires courage to act and humility to reflect. It asks us to step beyond our comfort zones, challenge our assumptions, and stay open to growth. It involves making mistakes and learning from them, forgiving ourselves and others, and recommitting to values even when the world seems chaotic. But it is precisely this path that leads to a life of purpose and impact. To cultivate these qualities, one can adopt daily practices such as journaling to reflect on actions and motivations, engaging in community service to translate understanding into action, and studying philosophical or spiritual texts to deepen insight. Conversations with mentors, exposure to diverse cultures, and honest self-inquiry can also foster growth in this direction. In conclusion, immediate action and noble understanding are not opposing forces but complementary dimensions of a fully realized human life. Action gives momentum to understanding, and understanding gives direction to action. When integrated, they empower individuals to live with integrity, lead with compassion, and contribute meaningfully to the world. Whether in personal choices, professional responsibilities, or global challenges, these twin principles serve as guiding stars that illuminate the path forward. In every moment, we are offered the opportunity to act, and to act nobly. By embracing this opportunity, we not only transform ourselves but also become agents of transformation in the world around us.